Mm. Hello. Dramatic, isn't it? Anyhow, you should be grateful that you haven't been shot with a cannon. Yeah? Now what am I on about here? History is a touch violent. And, oftentimes, I ponder it. Really not very knowledgeable about it. Not to an especial degree. Generally aware of it. But I did happen to chance across some snippets of prose in my time that made me go, here it is. So, think about it. How long has it been since public executions were common? As people were strung up and such in the Western world, in the so-called civilized world. Not terribly long. Maybe 100 or some odd years. Perhaps less, if you don't count the unlawful ones. This is all part and parcel of the whole murder ball. You see, a ball is quite in my mind. Because there used to be two colliding groups of fools running at each other, firing cannons and ball shot at every such artifice of death. And they would make impact with the flesh. It would fall off in chunks, and they would be lying strewn about, defecating themselves and bleeding to death and very, very thirsty in the sunlight there. Yeah. Most of us are spared that fate. Or the fate else common dysentery. So, what are we doing with our time? I myself am often doing rather frivolous things. But the question comes, what isn't frivolous? I don't know. But consider the frailty of the human body, of the human condition. For instance, some months back, I was taking out the trash, and I slit my leg clean open, very surgical-like. Came very close to damaging a nerve that would have meant I would have been unable to walk unassisted for life. All it was a bit of debris in the backyard, and an unfortunate motion of my right leg. Yeah, and I thought, suppose that the leg had been hit with a cannonball, and all I'd been given is some cheap whiskey, and then a guy went at it with a hacksaw. Wouldn't that be grim? Don't have to deal with that. Yeah, there are people who have to deal with similar things like IEDs, etc. And we all sit about and squabble over minutiae. And these domino effect, domino theory wars just continue unabated. You know, in 1995, Robert McNamara, the King Dick himself, on an interview with Charlie Rose, said, "Oh, hey, you know, that theory, the way I thought that if I had the numbers, that what gets measured gets done, that doesn't work. And that the domino effect of, well, there are these regimes that need to stop them, or otherwise it'll be a cascading effect, doesn't work." And in fact, I'm not necessarily against military superiority. I believe that the United States should have military superiority. However, it's not a reliable way to gain traction in the world. And I would say that an economic and cultural strengthening is what's really necessary to, well, keep the grimness at bay. Because, you know, the thing I just said about the cannons? Well, the cannons were really there to prevent the grimness, and they themselves became the grimness. Stare into the abyss, become the abyss, and ever on crescendoing into the arms race. So, hopefully, this little fractal brief was somewhat helpful. Check out the Fractal Journal for stories, ideas, essays, and more, most of which are free, all of which are free right now, until I actually start making some Patreon exclusive content. But if you feel so inclined, and you want to help out this little production show I've got going on, well, it's there as a tip jar. Goodbye. And thanks so much for listening. Button.